Yes, welcome. The Lords of Death meet once
Lord
again
of Death.
to celebrate, discuss, review the latest Rings of Power episode number 3. Carlos, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Bit of a rush this afternoon, evening.
Good. Made it though.
Made it back, albeit a little bit late. And Sanjay, my esteemed colleague and acquaintance, ex-colleague, I should say, ex-colleague.
Yeah.
Oh, current.
Yeah.
Working right now.
Yeah.
That's
So,
true,
fuck
working
you
right
guys. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's how I'm feeling today. Fuck you guys.
So he's ready. Guns are ready for the episode discussion.
So when did you guys watch this?
I have literally just
Friday.
finished it.
You just finished it.
Friday.
Like you watched it on Friday. I watched it on Saturday, but then I tried to watch a bit of it before coming in, just to remind myself of some of the cheesy bits. But yeah, I think definitely need to watch it twice. Yeah, so Carlos, what did you think? What did you make of it? Episode 3.
So, we only really see a couple of groups, I think, in this. Maybe it's just that it didn't feel like quite. Maybe because we did back-to-backs, felt like a lot sort of more being introduced and happening to begin with. So I have a few sort of takeaways that were more very character-specific, I think.
Just high level.
Yeah, so very high level would just be, it was okay again. Again, I think I still am struggling a little bit to really invest, but it's enjoyable, but not brilliant.
Enjoyable, but not brilliant. Solanke?
Well, yes. So instead of calling this the Lord of the Rings review podcast, I'm going to call it the Game of Thrones Appreciation Society. It's just the show that shouldn't have been made, if you ask me. I get it. It's okay. But really, they should have done a better job of this. It's just not. It's not hooking me at all. I'm happy to not watch it. To be honest,
You want to quit after 3 episodes already?
Any TV show has got the first couple of episodes to hook you, and that's it. Normally it's one episode, but they've done it back to back. So 2 episodes, either you're hooked or you're out. And the more I watch it, the more I realise how just mundane it is. What else can I say? And it's unfortunate that it's come out exactly the same time as Game of Thrones.
Tentpole. So,
Yeah, I don't know how intentional or unintentional that was. Some would say that they clearly wanted to set it up as like a bit of a rivalry kind of thing.
Probably, but this is the kind of time that you'd normally, obviously on normal TV schedules, this is around the time they'd start new seasons anyway. I appreciate it's a different.
It's only
thing.
eight.
Yeah, it's a different thing to releasing throughout till Christmas, having a hiatus, and then carrying on the New Year. But it was still usually this is the kind of time of year the series would start and premiere when it used to drop once a week. So, how about you, TJ? What did you think?
I think, this episode didn't change much of what I thought from the first 2. It looks great. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In fact, there was the odd scene where I went, fucking hell, that looks good.
Yeah.
It looked good, right? You've put some money into there.
I was going to say, should we start with some of the positives?
I think, this week I laughed at pretty much all the lines and stuff that Hallbrand came out with, which I think is, I don't think that's what they want. Well, maybe they did want it, but his lines are pretty good. His acting is pretty good. I think he's a likable chap, but that's pretty much it. I think Galadriel was still miserable.
I was going to say, she really doesn't do herself any favours. She's definitely not diplomatic.
She bites out at everybody. Whenever anybody says something, she snaps at them.
Yeah, she was like, I don't want to be here anyway. And then it was like, hang on a minute, you'd be dead if
you were given this
there.
island.
Yeah. It was like, no, seriously, like, well, I don't even want to be
What if I shanked you before you tried? I'm like, fucking no.
Honestly,
Cedric is a diplomat. Damn.
Yeah, she's a classic bitch.
So,
Like
yeah,
honestly,
well,
they,
her
they've not
resting bitch face is just permanent.
they've not made any effort to make her likable.
likable.
Except for,
relatable.
and this I think is such a terrible fail when she's riding on the horse.
Oh,
yeah.
for fuck's
What the
sake.
hell, man? If you
Yeah. I noticed that.
Oh,
What is this?
The slow motion horse.
like, I mean, the
Riding.
shots of her dress look nice,
Yeah.
on the horse.
and
But as soon as they cut
horse
to her
is
face,
huge.
I'm like, oh, she looks so. She actually looked retarded. Although, why have they done
She's supposed
this?
to be enjoying herself, but I do feel like that's probably why she's miserable most of the
Yeah,
time.
but they did it in super slow
it does- it
motion, and
makes
yeah, she
anyone
had that
weird.
really basic smile,
It makes
and her
everyone look
face
a bit
all
weird. Like.
stretched out. I'm like, oh no, this is terrible.
I
Why
forgot
would they
about
do
that.
this?
Actually.
I like she must have lost a bet or something. I'm like, because it's completely in contrast to the rest of her character.
Yeah,
being
super
miserable.
slow mo. I guess
I
that's
was
the
like,
thing.
wow.
They probably went, "Oh, we need to put something in to at least make people like think, there's another side to her." I don't know. Stick a slow mo in with her riding a horse on the beach.
Terrible idea. But Carlis, Isildur's sister. I don't know what her name is.
Well, you'd have been happy hiring her as well.
Yeah, she'd come work at my university. Yeah.
Who the hell's that?
So there's the chap who saved her,
Yeah.
and he's got the the daughter and the son.
Oh yeah.
Don't you realize who they are? Those two characters.
Isildur. I wrote this
Isildur and
down.
his dad.
It's Isildur. No, Sandra went no.
I'm not a Game of Thrones fan, so that I don't have any moments. Not Game of Thrones, sorry.
No, like at the very start of the first film, they do the prologue or
You've
whatever,
probably not seen it in a while.
and
mate.
they're
It's
talking about how the
Isildur.
guy, and he kills Sauron, kills his
He's
dad,
one of the ones
Yeah.
who defeats. He
Catches
fights
the
against.
sword.
Yeah,
and Isildur picks up the sword and cuts off his hand.
Right.
That was him.
that is it. I'm assuming. It's
Yeah,
him.
Him and his
okay,
dad.
And then Isildur
Okay,
is the
fine.
one who can't throw the ring into Mordor and keep
Yes.
Right. Okay. No,
Easy.
good. No, that's fine. Great. But it's not like a moment for me where this will do a cut. I'm a casual watcher. It
Yeah.
means nothing to me.
Well, to fill in the blanks, there you go. That's who
Thank
I
you.
think
Thank
he's
you.
meant to be.
Yeah, so that's just the one. Well, it's the little question is how does this sailor navy bloke and his dad, who's a navy
leader.
bloke captain, end up being king of the Numenor and the prince of the Numenor and all those things? That's clearly a thread that they're going to take through,
Yeah.
which I didn't know that was going to happen.
Mm,
Okay. Now I might be looking forward to that, maybe. But I had no
maybe.
context.
It's clear. Yeah, so the context is there will be something happening. I did like, again, we're back to that. If we're talking about that, I forget what the place is called, the island.
Numenor.
Numenor, was it?
Numenor, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought they made the place look fantastic. I thought that when they arrived, it made it seem and feel big, like it was lived in. Sometimes
With the big
shows
face
struggle.
carved.
Well, I mean, even in the background and things, like they didn't just use CGI the whole time, like when they first pull up in the ships. Oh, the ships I thought were brilliant as well. Really looked good. But again, like you said, and even like the Queen's, like, is it coral she has on her head? Obviously, they're like sea based, look brilliant. But again, although I thought they did such a good job at making this thing seem like a real place and a real thing, yeah, like you said, it's more that we're just being introduced to these, characters that something's going to happen. Everyone seems to really dislike elves.
Well, this is the thing that I thought the show did really badly. They just didn't explain any of it. There's no world
So
building.
why is
Like,
everyone hating?
why do they hate elves? Why aren't elves allowed? Why isn't she even allowed to fucking go? They don't want her there, so she's like,
Yeah, I was
I want to
wondering
go.
that.
Give me ships, send me off, and they're like, no.
No, you're staying.
We're
But
not
you're not
going
a
to.
prisoner.
What?
I think there should be some sort of like. Obviously, you're wondering why there's something going on there, but there's no build up to it. It's
Yeah.
just a thing. There's no like you're feeling a bit concerned about it.
It's really poor storytelling, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I know why everyone was looking at her weird when she first arrived. It's because she was wearing a nightie. She gets off the
Yeah.
boat, and everyone's like, "Oh, who's this?" I was like, "Hey, they're probably going, why isn't she dressed?"
No,
What
she
is
was
she wearing?
she was knife ears. That's why they were looking at her funny. Yeah. And she looked pasty as fuck. So they're like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this pasty elf in a nightie in our
Just
city
walking up,
where we
Being
have
brought up
banned
to see
elves?
the queen. Sorry. Like, yeah, bizarre.
But there's something going on because the queen went to go see her dad. I assume was the guy who
Used to be
the
king.
captain said was kicked off the throne for
Yeah,
being
well,
an elf lover.
went into self. whatever.
Yeah,
it
but he was
called.
taken out when he was cast off for being an elf lover. She pretends to be an elf hater, but then she's clearly waiting for something because she has that line when she goes to see him. What we feared has happened. So,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Galadriel later says that we've got an army, so she's assuming something's going on in the background as well. She must have.
Mhm.
What do you think of the thread where Hallbrand is meant to be the descendant of royalty? Do you think that smacks a little bit too much of this is an Aragorn wannabe?
Yeah, I was going to say exactly that. I was like, really? Another king that doesn't really want to be king, but
I
actually...
predicted this last week, didn't I? With the thing, I said, "Oh, he's going to be fucking royalty."
No, but this is what it adds more credence to the fact that he's actually Sauron. I can
You
see
think?
that happening. Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to believe it more. It's the little gotcha kind of moment.
So you think that the orcs are all working for him, and he decided to take a ship and get stranded?
He's
on
up
the
to
edge
something. He's
of
meant to be this
elf
super
territory.
powerful.
He was a karate guy. He got attacked. That's the guy who got attacked by those
Yeah.
ruffians. Duff and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
he's
karate
always
man, isn't
holding himself back, and then
he? Knew a
like,
bit of karate. Job done.
do I fight? Yeah, he's like, do I fight them or do I not? And then at first he's like, he's bloody good thief is what he is. It's really predictable. Every time he does something, you're like, he's robbed someone there. I was like, he's taken the knife. Oh, he has taken the knife. It's like he's nicked the thing. Oh yeah, he's nicked the thing. It's like, how did he have money?
After he nicked the knife, I knew he was going to nick the thing.
Yeah.
But,
Well, it's like, how did he get money to like pay for all the beer? And I went, oh yeah, he literally robs people. He's probably just nicked a load of cash.
yeah, that's what I mean. I think he's the only likable character in this episode.
See, I still like the little hobbits.
Nah, this
Oh
one.
no, they're
You don't like
dreadful.
Yeah,
I find them all extremely annoying.
yeah.
Just annoying.
Especially Lenny Henry. He's terrible.
Yeah, it's just really the whole setup is bad. I find the girls just annoying. The whole Lenny Henry thing is like, what is this?
What was the chant that they were doing? Don't stray off the path. Don't.
But
walk
we
alone."
will wait for you. You know, when they're calling out the names of the
Yeah.
dead. So
Well,
we will wait for you.
I mean, a lot of them, yeah, that's fair enough.
That,
The
that a
first
song
one-
as well. Fucking hell.
yeah. I
And
mean, they
they're all a
literally,
bunch of pussies as well. Yeah, that's the
well, they're acting
Although
like,
I did read something about the background. The Harfoots, and there were two other types of like pre-Hobbit that ended up being the Hobbits.
oh,
Yeah, so I read that somewhere. So
so this is
these
actually
are
a thing.
actually in the background. They're not just fake hobbits. They are actually somewhere. So Harfoots, and there was other type and another type. They all kind of merged into the Shire, the Hobbit. And apparently Frodo is part Harfoot or something like that.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, because I was going to say the one thing I didn't get was, yeah, they're meant to be like literally at the start it says, you know, a hobbit's home is a hole in the ground, but not a disgusting, what's it, thingamajiggy, it's a clean, lovely, you know, work. And then you're like, there they are eating snails, shoving stuff in their hair and picking up acorns, and like, it's like, hang on a minute, this is okay. So that's actually a nice bit of info there to know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Currently so.
where we are in the Lord of the Rings that long in the future is obviously what the hobbits do later. So good.
Yeah.
No, I still quite like them pair. But yeah, it seemed a bit bad because it did seem like they literally do.
Just beating the same drum, and I wanted something interesting to happen, but nothing really interesting.
That's for me. It doesn't really feel like they've really made it
Where
right.
to go? Well,
Progress
what's going to
the
happen,
story.
I think. Well, my prediction is that these guys are going to get left behind, but then the wolf's going to attack them, and then
Yeah, but they didn't get.
non-Gandalf is going to try and save everybody, and they're going to become friends. And...
But didn't Naked Space Jesus help them by pushing the caravan?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they're going to keep on going along,
Ah.
and eventually the wolf is going to attack them, and you know, Space
I think
Jesus is
they'll-
going to
they'll use
save
some-
everybody.
Space Jesus.
He's going
It's
to do something to beat the wolf.
a bit of a liability. He just started looking at. He just sets the thing he's reading on fire. His fires all over the place start springing up. He's falling all over all the knocking things over. It's like,
Yeah, but he's a star, isn't he? You've seen Stardust. You can't just come to the Earth and start doing shit.
I don't know. She seemed a bit more with it.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, thought, yeah, liability. There you go. Maybe he will
Yeah.
show up and do. It's almost like he's actually also finding out that he has magic as well. It's bizarre. Like he didn't know he could do like something that's like, why are these fires showing up? And he's like, oh. What's all this magic stuff happening? So, yeah, maybe you're right. I'll have a...
You don't just become Gandalf. I mean, so you don't just, get born as Gandalf. You have to become Gandalf.
Think you'll have a Grogu moment.
I do think he's going to be Gandalf. I don't know.
I am now. Everyone seems to think it, and I was like, I hope they don't do that. But actually, with everyone else showing up, and Gandalf did say I was there when Isildur and all that. It's like, we've not seen
Gandalf,
it
wasn't it?
I'm sure there's a line or something that mentions
Elrond says that.
No, yeah.
I was there, Gandalf, when Isildur. Yeah.
Maybe. Oh yeah, no, you're right. Elrond was. Oh, that's weird. Was it a different line? I'm thinking. Okay. Well, in which case, then it should have come up. So it doesn't fit. But I thought you'd be missing out that we didn't get any dwarf.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Well, we didn't get any of Elrond, so I assume Elrond will be back next week or this Friday. But yeah, I'm not too fussed by Elrond. Didn't bother me neither. We saw plenty of the elves that were randomly all got captured. I mean, this elite squadron.
This is the worst group of elves
whose job it was to patrol and to watch over, and they didn't see any of these massive tunnel networks which were dug up everywhere
because they weren't looking down,
and they didn't spot any of their mates getting captured beneath their feet.
That whole storyline is like, it could have been so much better.
Yeah.
And it basically, the story is elf falls down a hole. That's it. That's what's happened. His mates got killed, and that's it. Oh, we got to see some bloke at the end. Look,
he was
to me.
He's so evil that even the camera's out of focus.
Yeah.
Apparently, he might be like an evil elf.
Oh,
dark elf.
There we go. Dark elf. Yeah. An elf that's just evil.
Weren't orcs supposed to be like elves that had been
mutilated,
twisted? Exactly.
That's right.
So that's a bit odd that there's another. I don't know. I suppose that's why it was fuzzy, so that we didn't go. So I could have shown her some sort of appeal. But I mean, like you said about the stories, this and that. The one little grumble, one of the grumbles, is it was a bit predictable. Like you said, we go, oh, that's going to get, the knife's going to get. Oh, isn't it the knife? And then you go, well, this is a bit tense with the water. Someone's going to get. Oh, and he's going to kill him, isn't he? And then they went, whoosh, yeah, he's killed him. Yeah. And they said, is he going to get away? And I'm going,
no.
It's like everything you go. Yeah, which is why it's nice that we had the bit with the Queen at the other place on the island saying, like you said, that was a bit of a surprise. Going, oh, I didn't expect that. So everything else, I was going, I know what's about to happen. It's not ideal. Like even them sticking with the stranger, non-Gandalf. You knew he was going to tag along, didn't you? You're like, well, he's going to come in.
Yeah, obviously. And what did you make of Galadriel, the woman army? What did she say her title was?
Oh yeah, she's
General of the armies of the North for King Gilgalad. I was like, fucking
Queen of
Dragons. Tag on Queen of Dragons at the end of there as well. What did you make of her not realizing that the sigil was actually part of the map? Like, pointing. It's a little bit obvious, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Turn it sideways, you dumb cow.
It's a bit weird that that's the... Okay, so I see... I mean, I wouldn't have thought necessarily, I suppose, to look at it, but...
she's meant to be thousands of years old, and she's meant to be scouring everywhere. So
but then he just found the sigil. I mean, it now makes sense why she's found the sigil in kind of some remote places, because it's telling the people where to go to. So all of the orcs that had spread out have now headed over to the what was it called? The Southlands?
The Southlands.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm guessing that's...
Which makes sense why they're
Mordor, isn't it? That is.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time.
The one in the middle is Mount Doom. It must be Mount Doom.
So, do we know who directed this? Because I've got a sneaky feeling the director's not very good.
I actually don't know. Right. I didn't actually pay attention.
J.A. Bayona. That's what the internet is saying.
Don't they usually have different directors?
Yeah, I was going to say episodes typically do so they can film them at, depending on.
J.A. Bayona did the first 2
Yeah.
episodes. But what did they? Who's J.A. Bayona?
Well, yeah, he did apparently Jurassic World.
Oh,
That was his previous job, but that wasn't very good. So
yeah, but it's interesting that someone who's come from doing a film. Sometimes you just like say
No, I
that people
thought
who've done
Colin
episodes.
Trevorrow was Jurassic World.
all right.
Or is it one of the new? Because they've done a few Jurassic Worlds, haven't they?
I'm just thinking they haven't got a very good production cast. J.A. Bayona, Wayne Yip,
Yeah,
Charlotte Brandstorm.
It would be interesting if that's something that isn't helping. 'cause
Fallen
obviously-
Kingdom was a terrible film as well.
Fallen Kingdom. Is that the one with?
It's the second one, which was all over the place, a complete mess.
Oh yeah.
Terrible film. Yeah, the script writers need to be fired. Whoever the fuck they are, I have no idea who wrote this shit. But and then yeah, they really need to like anybody could tell you that Galadriel is not a likable main character at all.
They are struggling at the minute.
She should be the one cracking jokes and making witty lines and having cheeky comebacks and all that sort of shit. But
I even don't know. I don't even know if that would fit. I mean, I suppose you're saying they've changed the character anyway. Why not actually? Because that wouldn't really, I don't necessarily fit with what she's like, but they could at least.
No, but they definitely couldn't make this version of Galadriel how she is in the later films, because then he'd be completely dead.
Yeah.
She barely says and does anything. She's
Well,
just
that's my point. Is I guess
and spiritual and shit. You know what I mean? You can't have her going around being, attacking people with a sword and raising armies and shit. It won't work. So if they were going to do that Galadriel, then they really need to make her more likable. She should definitely be more swashbuckling. A bit more Jack Sparrow, definitely.
so
True.
Jack Sparrow.
It's true.
I just get the feeling Galadriel was probably the wrong character to be the lead character.
Yeah, it's like I said last week. I said that they should just made a new character for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think even in the movies, she had a
She's
she was very
fantastic.
stern, not very
Yes.
kind of emotive. Maybe they kind of thought that was the way to go and kind of ballsed it up. They needed to have found different characters.
It's odd
Yeah.
because even then, that she's got like a mystical element to her. Like she can, when she's talking to
Yeah,
them
later
in
on
their
she's
head.
mystical.
And it's
She
like-
comes across as like a 10,000-year-old sorceress. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas
Whereas
in this,
in this, she just comes across as like a brat.
bit of a very grumpy person,
Yeah,
very arsey.
hey, basically. Yeah.
So, like you say, you do feel like you wish they'd added something that makes her much more to this character, written in a way where you feel that you can, I don't know.
They should just made her a new
Engagement.
character. It would have
Just-
solved it completely. Maybe that's what they'll
She's
do.
just
They'll
so
announce
much everyone.
in the last episode that she's actually a twin of the real Galadriel, and that she took her identity while she was in Middle Earth or some shit. That would fix it. I'll be like, oh, all right, yeah, okay.
Oh, the whole thing was a dream. It
No.
was a dream. Sauron wakes up, go, oh, his big foot down, go, hey, I was dreaming.
Phew! That did happen.
That was shit. I'm
Maybe
cancelling
it's-
my Amazon subscription.
It's Galadriel who names her daughter Galadriel as well.
Oh yes, that's right. That was the
It's
shit.
still
Galadriel.
being absolutely rinsed critically. This is
Is it?
everybody's like laying.
It's getting murdered.
It's getting murdered.
I haven't.
Yeah,
That's interesting
have you
because
Have you seen Amazon's response?
I've not looked at anything aside. I've
Yeah.
not looked at any reviews. I've not looked at any other kind of.
Basically, they're saying if you don't like it, you're racist. That's basically what they're saying.
A racist against who? White people.
what?
Because
There's
against them.
mostly white people in it.
Totally racist against the people that did this.
As a non-white person, apparently I'm being racist in not liking it. But
well, I mean, you do know that you don't
I
have to
don't
be
like white
white to
people.
be
There you go.
racist, right? You don't have to be white to be racist. You know that, right?
you know what they mean. You know exactly what they mean because
Yeah.
they've taken a elf and turned him into a cast a Puerto Rican guy, right? And said, "Oh, you don't like it because of that." No, it's just shit.
Because
It's the script.
he's
It's
boring. and
nothing to do with where everyone's
Boring
backgrounds are.
character, badly written. I feel sorry for the guy. Galadriel, boring character, badly written. What else? You know, what else do you want?
Yeah, like I said, Holbrand was the only likable person in this episode, I think.
Yeah, but
He
again,
had
he's
some
a
good
bit
lines.
dodge. He does seem a
It's
bit
like
like...
it's not poisonous for humans. That was good.
that's a good line.
Yeah.
Again, he does seem dodge. I did say.
He stole the show, didn't he? I think.
I did say I thought he was
Yeah.
going to be like that kind of anti-hero where you're like,
And
Is-
when he goes to her, when they're in front of the queen, you go bow. They bow, and then she goes, "We don't do that here." And he goes, "Sorry." I thought that was stuff like that. I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty funny.
you're right. I mean, they did actually do those bits well. I'm not really thinking about it from a perspective of like, I've watched some done very badly where there's two people thrown together, and I've seen it, of course, done very well in things like Game of Thrones where they throw random characters together and then they just are really well scripted together, or change each other. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with this. I mean, obviously they're going to get off the island. I don't know.
Yeah,
I still
so,
wonder why she didn't just go home and then grab another ship to go back. Why did you have to jump off the? I don't know. It's like, surely there's a ship that's going to travel back there. It's not like they can never. Anyway, me going semantics. It's like such a long way.
Do you
Just
think Amazon are
considering-
going to shit themselves and reshoot this or recut it or something?
No,
They're not,
no.
are they? It's too late now, isn't it? Far too late.
Yeah, it's too late. So what I think they'll do is they will be like watching and listening and reading everything that people are saying about it,
Oh yes.
and so,
So hello,
I'm
Amazon!
sure Amazon will be watching the stream.
Hi, Jeff.
Jeff,
My name's Jeff.
my name's Jeff. He's gonna watch this back, and he's gonna say that Carlos and El Presidente, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. This guy, Mr. All Too Easy.
This El President. We'll see the president of. Find the country and bomb the shit out of it.
Let's get him off the internet.
Oh, shit. Yeah, they're going to
The
take on
president of
board a lot of the
Latvia.
criticism, and they'll have to come back and change stuff. It's too late to fix this season because it's already
Yes.
done. But yeah, next season they'll change a load of stuff.
A
I think.
few things. As I say, it's like it probably is it. If they just sort of sorted out a little bit more the script and then the characterization, it'll be interesting if they actually show some character development. Because as I say, even with Galadriel at the minute, how
Well-
she was. I mean, it's not even 3 episodes. I'm not giving it time. That's not fair. But it's kind of like she's very much still doing the same thing she was doing, apart from when she's riding a horse.
So,
And they fucked that up.
One piece of advice for season 2. What would it be? One bit of advice. Go on,
Well,
Kate.
definitely, like I say, just
Re-
work on
Change Galadriel's personality.
the,
That's it.
the characters.
She's clearly the lead character.
Work
You've
on that.
established that. If they sidelined her now, it would come off looking
Yeah, it would
bad.
be
The optics of
bad
that
and
would be
weird.
bad.
So, funny
yeah,
enough-
it doesn't fit the
Okay,
story.
you say these talking for you. You fucking answer the question.
No, but I agree. That's what I mean. I think
That's
they need
it.
to work on character. That they
Concurs.
do. Well, the sets are there. Everything
Yep.
else is there. It's just they need
music
to
is
actually
fun.
get a compelling. You want to be following and behind these characters, and you want to. We want to be with them. And I feel like at the minute, the only thing, because I'm still enjoying it, but it's just not compelling viewing. You want
Yeah.
more from these characters. You want to
Like
maybe some development over the rest of the season. Maybe there
Like-
will be.
if they dropped every single episode at once, right, like Netflix did, at no point so far would I think I have to watch the next episode.
Yeah.
There's no desire to binge this at all, and that's like a major fail. I don't know if you guys watch Cobra Kai. That dropped on the weekend, and every fucker that I know watched it in one. Yeah, myself included.
How far are they
Um,
through now? 2nd or 3rd season?
That's season 5.
5.
Season 5 dropped.
I thought they
yeah.
did like 3.
Everybody I know binged it in one hit. Fucking, I don't know how many 10 odd episodes. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
That's
this-
good 4 or 5 hours worth.
This really does come back to us saying you just don't know what's going to be the thing that everyone really loves and watches. Like I would not have thought that when it was announced, and it has got a bit of a quite heavy sort of not cult following because it's a bit wider than that, isn't it? Whereas these
Cobra
big
Kai.
ones, yeah,
Everybody loves Cobra Kai.
that's what I mean. Like,
Everybody
it's
loves it.
you wouldn't have gone, oh yeah, that would be the thing that everyone's talking about and watching a lot of
I've not
5
watched it.
seasons. Well, me neither. I've not watched it. I've heard very good things, but I've not watched it. But
Yeah, I think after finishing season 5, so far, all 5 seasons have been excellent. All 5 seasons have, just really good, different, interesting, keep you watching. They've been funny.
I presume it has
different
to be
storylines,
characters.
good villains, good characters. It's been great. nice little bit of nostalgia. So when you compare something like that, there's maybe your advice really is to sack off these showrunners and hire the guys that did Cobra Kai. They're fixing it.
Anyone. Oh my God. Do you know what? I'd do it. Whatever they're charging you, I'd do it for half, and I'd do a better job. That's it. Jeff!
You know
Right
nothing
here.
about making TV shows, but you're
Look, I couldn't do a worse job, could I? Right? They've lost $500 million on this. They've smucked it away. Right? I could cut those losses, even if it was by 100 million, because I'd put more titties in it or something like that. Boom!
No,
Cash
they can't-
money, Jeff.
I don't think you can't go that route with Lord of the Rings.
No,
I just
Game
do
of
it.
Thrones fine.
I'd call it the Throne of Games.
Throne of Rings.
No, but I mean, there's
the
nothing
game of ring thing.
like Amazon could just
Lord.
make their own Lord of the Rings if they wanted to. They could just make their own new TV show, which was like just
Rings
like
of the Lord. No, that's not good.
There's so much fantasy property out there that you could easily just pick one and do it. You know what I mean?
They tried that, didn't they? But they tried it with, was it Wheel of Time?
Wheel of Time.
No, but that's not Lord of the Rings, though, is it? This is, I mean, sorry, that's not Game of
Sorry.
Thrones, is it? They could do like, swords, shields.
They've tried.
Dragons,
They had
witches, wizards.
the Vikings, they had Black Sail.
Nah, it's nowhere near the same thing. I'm thinking like proper Conan the Barbarian type shit. This is what they could be doing if they wanted to.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you could do a bit of Conan the Barbarian. But you can't just say that, oh, nothing's like Game of Thrones, because literally nothing is like Game of Thrones except Game of Thrones. They've tried it.
Yeah, but what's Game of Thrones is just like medieval Britain, but with dragons.
Yeah,
and
that's
magic. That's it.
what Lord of the Rings is.
It's like there's thousands of There's thousands of
Yeah,
fantasy books and novels and series that do that, right?
but what was good about it was, as I say, the characterization. The
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what they need to do.
The
They just
script
need to
is
write it.
incredibly good. And
They just
each
need to find
scene
a
means
talented
something.
writer to write it properly and do
Yeah,
it.
up until about season 7, it was
Well,
great.
yeah, okay. But early,
I
I should
thought
You
say,
know
I said
what?
before,
That
I
the
said
same
before.
thing went wrong with the last couple of seasons there, as is going on here.
Yeah, shit writing.
Shit writing, absolutely.
Because the first 4 or 5, maybe even 6 seasons were adaptations from the books, and then they lost it, right? Because the books had stopped.
Yeah, I think it might have been more than that. It was at least 5 seasons. If I remember.
Yeah, something like that. So basically, they were on their own, other than the main story beats.
yeah,
they
you
were on
gave
their
them a
own,
few, you know,
and
you-
they're just nowhere near as talented as writing this shit. And
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You
That's the
saw it.
thing is, he has spent years to write these characters,
And this is
think
the same
about
thing
them.
with Rings of Power.
It's done in a
Tolkien went
couple of
to
years.
started it when he was probably a kid in his head. Went to World War II, carried on doing it. Then came back, became a professor, carried on doing it.
I mean, Lord of the Rings, you mean?
He wrote The Hobbit first, didn't he?
Yeah, and sorry, no, you said Rings of Power.
Oh,
You
right,
mean when,
sorry, yeah,
as
Lord
in
of the
when he
Rings.
wrote The Hobbit and
Yeah.
then Lord of the
Do
Rings?
you know what I mean? This was
exactly.
cooking in his brain for like
These are
years and
characters
years and
that he's-
years, and obviously he had a talent for it as well. Do you know what I mean? Whereas these fuckers, these Hollywood hacks, do you know what I mean? They don't have to shred the talent.
Well, no, they're
Not
not as
even
talented.
a
But I
shred.
don't think it's as. I mean, you guys make out like it's awful. They say, "Oh, it's a terrible."
The
I don't think
writing
it's-
is terrible.
I don't think-
The writing is terrible.
It could be better. I don't think it's awful. I honestly don't think it's awful. I think it's passable. It's just
No,
not
but
good.
when-
You compare it to other things that are on that are really compelling. I don't think it's anywhere near. I mean, even just shows that are kind of above. average,
Apparently,
there
the
are some really
writing
good-
and the new not Rings of Power, fucking hell. The new Game of Thrones season,
House of
has
the
that been
Dragon.
lifted from a book? Is that lifted from a JR book?
I think it is
based on a short story or something, or a
I think
prequel.
it's
that you did?
based
But I don't think
on-
it's
oh,
it's not
Fire and
more-
Blood.
Story of Fire and Blood, yeah, I was
Fire
thinking
and
that
Blood.
rings a bell.
But
Yeah,
I don't
so
think it's
there's again, once again, they're getting it's good because it's based on something
it's
that
been
he actually
found
wrote.
out. Well, you look at the first season; it is basically verbatim the first book, so it's obviously going to be.
This is what I mean.
well
This is
set
what
up.
this is what Jeff should be doing. He should be going out and finding proper fantasy writers with real
good books. Yeah.
pedigree
Yeah, but you
to
tried, like, you just
sort
said-
this shit out.
Oh, you mean to write it? I was going to say, if he went to Wheel of Time and then just completely changed it, it's like, well,
That's what I mean. You can't do that.
you're going to get a series.
Isn't,
that's already been
isn't the book like
written.
really successful, really acclaimed, and then
It's
they
very,
just
it's
decide to
very,
change it?
yeah. It's in fantasy circles.
And
it's,
they changed
very
so much of it.
highly
Is that
regarded.
right?
Yes,
I don't
there's
know.
quite a lot.
Yes,
that's-
yeah, I mean, you
doesn't
just
go
asking
how-
for it, aren't you?
Well,
The fans aren't very happy.
what about The Witcher? That's a pretty good show.
Yeah, that's a good one
Adaptation
to
of the
compare.
book.
No,
They've changed bits of it just enough to annoy enough people.
yeah, exactly. It's
That was
pissed
the
off a lot of
problem.
people.
Was it?
Yeah.
'Cause I still think I really like Witcher. I thought it was really good.
Well, season 2 isn't about The Witcher at all. This is what.
Yes.
So, I mean, season 2 was not
That's
The Witcher.
Ciri.
Season 2 is Ciri and the other chick.
Oh, I thought isn't the
really
game not really about him either?
No, it's all about him.
Well, he's there, but he's
You
going
play
in and
as
out of
Geralt.
yes, but he's going in and out of other people's stories. Not his story, is it?
Yeah, but it's still about you play him. Whereas in the TV show, it wasn't about him. It's about what this.
Oh, you're talking about the games. But the book. You're talking about the books, aren't you, KK?
Well, I was meaning kind of a mixture. I haven't read any.
I'm
books,
pretty
so
sure
I
the
can't really-
games are pretty good
necessarily.
retellings of the books. I'm pretty
Well, it's
sure.
by the same person, wasn't it? Wasn't it the writer who wrote the stories and the games or something? Or
I
did he
don't
do the game? Maybe he did the games first and then wrote the books.
CD product. Some Polish dude.
I mean, this says a lot. Basically, we're talking about The Witcher more than we're talking about Rings of Power.
Yes,
Power.
because after 3 episodes, there isn't much to say.
This is my point, because I sort of said this,
It's the same thing. The show is just kind of meh.
There's little bits to touch on and stuff that is, again, there's still a couple of things I'm like, okay, I'm interested in where a couple of things are going and I want to know that, but
The only
Like,
thing
even
I'm
if-
interested in now is Hallbrand Sauron. That's all I give a shit about.
you don't care what's going on with the whole Gandalf.
I'm
Like,
pretty
what's
sure
the
he's
star-
Gandalf.
What's the constellation? What's that? You think they're going to show up at,
That's
Mordor?
kind of a secondary mystery, but like I said, this time I got annoyed a lot more at the Harfoots. They go about it a bit more.
I don't know what it is about that, because I could see that little relationship between Naked Space Jesus and our traveling friends.
Oh, they even called them caravans this time.
I know that's called caravans. And,
I was like, no, I think you're just imagining it. And then they went, yeah, you have to leave your caravan. I was like, oh no.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
it's a bit creepy. But that relationship should be quite compelling. It's just not. It's just
I think
annoying.
it's quite sweet. I do.
They
Still
haven't
like
done enough
her,
with it. They
personally.
need to give proper They need to give more conversations between them where
Yeah,
they
maybe.
talk
Well, he's
and
only
do
just
interesting stuff. Whereas
he's only just learned to speak.
Really.
I think they will in the next few episodes. I like.
Yeah, but
that.
Carlos, who made the decision to make him not able to speak?
Right. Fair
Yeah,
point.
you wrote him like that. It's not my fucking fault that you got this dumb naked space Jesus dude who just makes stupid sounds and sets fire to shit.
Yeah, it's got pyromaniac.
He could have come down and had it in what's it called when you can't remember who you are?
Amnesia.
Amnesia. They could have given him amnesia. That'd have
Well,
been it,
yeah.
done.
Doesn't help as well when they literally go, look. So
He
what?
could have had all this crazy power and wizarding
It was
shit.
like, oh, we've
Just
got the
don't know who the
answer.
fuck he is or why he's there or how he got there or anything.
Well, they even said, oh, we've got the answer. What did it say on the pages? Oh no, we burnt it. Oh well, mystery it is.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, it was there. Don't dangle it in front of us.
You know what I think's happened to this TV show? It's the story of the Amazon Fire phone. You know the story of that? So
No.
Amazon decided.
I remember
they-
the 5 phone. Yeah.
Yeah. So they actually designed and manufactured their own mobile phone, because they want to get into the market. The problem is that the development team were constantly hounded by Jeff. He'd turn up and say, I want this doing, I want this. And he started to make unreasonable demands for the spec of the phone. And in the end, it turned out to be a pile of crap. And I get the feeling that this is such a big project that the people who actually knew what they were doing couldn't do it. I think it's trying to please everyone, and it's pleasing no one.
essentially the same thing happened with Star Wars, with the sequel trilogy with Star Wars. Is that Kathleen Kennedy and all these other bigwigs got actually involved, and dictated what was going to happen in the actual story, as opposed to let somebody who's talented write the damn thing properly and direct it properly. That's just they're TV and films by committee as opposed to by visionaries. And you always end up with a shit product. Do you remember this Facebook phone as well? Do you remember the Facebook phone?
God, just about. Bloody hell.
The Facebook phone.
Yeah, let's go for that. Bloody hell.
So yeah, like I said, I can't rate it anything above a 5. I think it might even have slipped a little bit.
Yeah, I almost feel like the first 2 episodes were
4/5.
because we had a few, there was a couple of really good moments. I thought
Because
in
there was
episode 2.
less exposition. Like, they don't really explain anything about the Numenor elvish history other than we don't like them. And I was like, well, you're just taking out. You don't really know what the fuck's going on. But like you said, Carlos, I'm gonna watch it to the end.
Yeah.
To see where we get to with this season.
I'm also going to give them a chance at least to see if
Yeah.
they've at least written some sort of development for the characters rather than just going, so these are the characters and let's move them around the chessboard a bit, see what happens.
I
there's actually
think I will watch the season, but I'll kind of begrudgingly, I think, because I could be doing other things. It's the type of stuff that if it's on in the background, it's absolutely fine. But having to sit there and watch that is a bit painful.
It's not drawing you in at the minute. Well, at least make sure you watch it before House of the Dragon.
Well, you see, because the problem is as soon as Game of Thrones comes out, I have to watch it because there's a lot more buzz online. On Facebook and Instagram, there's like loads of memes come out. Oh my god, it's going to ruin it. I've got to watch it. Whereas there's nothing. There's no buzz. No one gives a shit. Just look.
There's no positive word of mouth about it.
No one's going, oh, this bit happened. Oh god, this looks awesome. No one's doing it.
Yeah.
At the end of the last Game of Thrones, fucking Matt Smith is a fucking beast, man. He's a beast. He fucking one-shots this fucking army by himself. Fucking amazing. You're not going to get that in this piece of shit fucking Rings of Power bollocks.
Well, Galadriel's probably going to do some shit. Let's face it.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll give her a chance.
What, topless, covered in blood, shagging this fucking whore and fucking riding a dragon? I don't fucking think so.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. On the dragon, whilst shagging the fucking whore, covered in blood.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what floats Slanky's boat now, as it were.
Damn straight, admit it. Mother bitches.
All right.
Feel better now. Got it off my chest.
Final thoughts then, Carlos?
Final thoughts. It's just hoping it gets better. I really am hoping it gets better. I'm still enjoying it. It seems like I maybe am more than both of you. So I am still in. It's having a bit more of a down, especially at El Presidente's household. So I have been in, and I'm just gonna give him a bit more. It sounds like you're saying it's 8 episodes, was it?
Yeah, I think it's 8.
So yeah, I mean that's
this
the
week
thing.
we'll be halfway in.
It's going to be See, that's the worry. Halfway through, and then say, right, what's happened? What have we seen change, develop? A few bits that are still interesting me. So more than anything, hope that the storyline and characters pick up to the level of all the work that's gone into the background.
Yeah. All right. Solanke, do you want to
Did I not make my position clear on this?
Unless someone's on a dragon having sex, I don't care.
Yeah. Honestly,
you know what, Carlos, that is worthy of a calendar entry, so I'll let you take that one up.
Yeah, stick that in the calendar. That's going to be an annual thing. No, honestly, I'm fed up because these bastards who made this TV show are wasting my fucking time, and I'm paying for this. You should be paying me, all right? Pay me. I want my money back. There you go. Thank you.
The internet's going to be like, that David Lopan man knows what he's talking about.
I'm in a good mood, so 4 out of 10, right? You don't want to see me in a bad mood.
I can only really give it a 5 out of 10 then, in comparison with that. To be on scale, I think it's a little bit better than that, but yeah, like I said, it's dislikable characters. There's no other than Hallbrand is the only one that's a little bit of fun. Yeah, nothing else really stands out, and the visuals. I'm sure the special effects will be great as well later on.
Costume, music. You already mentioned music was I thought spot on this time.
Yeah. And did you see, just a little side note before we end it, that little picture of when they went to the library and they had the painting in the background, and she said that she likes Elrond more, and then they got that cheesy little photo of Elrond in the
But they made it look more like him, whereas everyone else still just looks like a
No,
classic.
but I
old
thought
painting.
I'm gonna Photoshop Collis's face on that. It's so gonna happen. It's gonna be fucking great.
Or which side?
Collis the Wise.
In the oh yes,
Maybe I'll put Slanky in there as well.
Yeah, nice. Thank
it's
you.
in that fire hazard room.
I'll do that for
where
the
they've
next
just got
thumbnail. There you
Scrolls. I love a good scroll there. That's it.
All right,
There we go.
let's sign off there then.
Get myself a warm drink. So, speaking of which, quick question. So, when you get a warm drink, do you heat it up in the do you do like microwave it, or do you hob it?
Warm drink.
Do you hob it?
Well, I think we're done now.
We're definitely
Oh
done.
man, definitely not gonna get any likes after that, are we?
Fucking hell.
But you have to say,
You have
like,
to
it's
subscribe. Unsubscribe now. Just go. Just go.
Ah.
We've had enough now.
All right, I'm gonna sign off. Say goodbye.
Like and subscribe, everyone. Including my sister.
Bye.
Bye.